What's it like to live in a 16th century French chateau? The Chateau Diaries Stephanie Jarvis shares all about the lifestyle, renovations, whirlwind of decorations, cooking, hosting, and travel on their channel. But first, what or who is the Chateau Diaries? The Chateau Diaries is a YouTube channel about life in a French chateau. The channel is run by Stephanie Jarvis, who in 2005, alongside her friends, purchased the elegant and historic piece of property. Stephanie's chateau was once owned by Louis XIV's cousin Anne-Marie Louise d'Orleans, also called the La Grande Mademoiselle. And today, Stephanie is the renowned owner of the property. And she's famous not just because she owns the chateau, but also because of her large following on social media and YouTube. But who is Stephanie? For starters, this chateau owner, like many others, is not your everyday folk, mainly because of the endless responsibilities that come with living in and running such magnificent and stately buildings. There also aren't many chateau owners, and even if they were there, not many people are willing or even capable of devoting so much energy and time to restoring and managing these huge properties. Therefore, very few brave souls will take up the challenge to own and run a chateau, and Stephanie Jarvis is one such brave soul. And though she owns it alongside her two best friends, one of who is her ex-boyfriend, she lives in the chateau and often hosts different friends, her mom and brother, and also volunteer helpers. She describes herself as an individual with one weird family. By all counts, Stephanie is an outlier. She graduated with a degree from Oxford, studied opera at the Trinity College of Music, and she's also a talented and accomplished singer. Perhaps that's why she chose the chateau life, or did the chateau life choose her? She loves adventure and has also appeared in a reality TV show in the past, an experience that opened her eyes to the idea of creating her own YouTube channel. She started the Chateau Diaries in 2018. Unfortunately, living in a chateau didn't proof her from the pandemic and its effects. The pandemic had devastating effects on businesses all around, and hers was affected too. And this meant that she needed to get creative to find new ways of bringing in money. Her creativity and business acumen paid off, as she's now even more successful than ever thanks to her channel, The Chateau Diaries. Chateau Lifestyle. Before the pandemic, Stephanie managed the chateau full-time. Even though she taught herself how to make and edit YouTube videos, working on the chateau always kept her too busy to engage in anything else. Bringing a 16th century chateau back to its former glory was a massive undertaking for anyone, and Stephanie spent all her time rebuilding and restoring the majestic building. She moved to the chateau in 2005 and was always busy. But then the pandemic hit in 2020 and she needed to figure out something else quickly, especially with all the canceled bookings. So, with little to do and the knowledge of running a YouTube channel, all her time was spent creating content for the Chateau Diaries. She turned her film and video editing hobby into a full-time job. At the start of the pandemic, she was quarantined in the chateau after jetting back home from Southeast Asia. That is when she started to make YouTube videos from the bedroom. Her content was loved instantly as it provided the exact kind of entertainment the world needed during the pandemic. In a short period after she started creating YouTube content consistently, she was making more than she did from her bed and breakfast business. She also created a diverse and supportive community online. Her content not only focuses on the DIY renovation and transformation projects she has going on in the chateau, but also on unboxing videos, gardening, and home tours with a bit of history of the home. Since she took over ownership of the house, she's made several changes and improvements that are mind-blowing. The videos also serve as a great display of the rich antique pieces in the chateau, the added features, and the many outdoor renovations. Her channel is also an excellent display of her elegant DIY skills and craftiness. Stephanie also shares details of her relationship with Philippe and life in the French countryside. Chatelaine Stephanie also started the Sundays at the Chateau segment, where she shared more about the French chateau culture and life. She also loves animals, specifically chickens, and she has several chickens in her chicken coop and sells chicken coops and treats in France and the UK. Net worth. With 195,000 subscribers, the Chateau Diaries is worth $128,000. But she's making much more than this, especially from the B&B business, the Patreon page, and other businesses she runs.